Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this before you waste another year. Time is the most deceptive thief. It doesn't steal in a moment. It slips away unnoticed. You wake up one day, look back, and realize a year has passed. And what changed? What did you build? What did you fight for? The clock doesn't care. It will keep moving, with or without your permission. Every day you hesitate is a deposit into someone else's dream. Every excuse you make is a silent agreement to stay exactly where you are. You say you'll start tomorrow, but how many tomorrows have you buried in comfort and hesitation? How many times have you said, next week, next month, next year, and watched the calendar prove you a liar? The truth is brutal, but it's liberating. If you are not where you want to be, it is because you have tolerated where you are. Life rewards the decisive, not the hesitant. The world doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you demand through your actions, your focus, your sacrifice. The reason most people waste years is because they never decide on anything. They float, they dabble. They stay busy but not effective. They chase 10 rabbits and catch none. Make up your mind. Decide what you want. Burn the alternatives. When your purpose is clear, distractions become repulsive. You don't need motivation when you have clarity. Only a coward needs a pep talk to chase what he claims to want. And let's get this straight. Nothing is coming to save you. Not the economy. Not your boss. Not some break. That break you're waiting for. It's buried under sweat and discipline. You don't need another book, another course, another opinion. You need to do what you already know needs to be done. Talent is nothing without tenacity. Planning is nothing without execution. And belief is nothing without effort. Look around you. Someone with half your ability is outrunning you because they moved. They decided. They sacrificed comfort for progress. And while you were overthinking, they were building. The difference between a wasted year and a breakthrough year is one thing: decision. You either step into your power or stay chained to your potential. But don't confuse movement with progress. A man on treadmill runs hard and ends up nowhere. Your environment matters. The people you speak to daily, the content you consume, the routines you keep. They are either pulling you forward or dragging you down. Audit your circle. Are they building or bleeding you? Get around fire, or your flame will die. You are already late, and you don't have the luxury to waste what's left. So stop asking how long it will take. Start asking how far you can go if you give it everything. One focused year can put you 10 years ahead. But it won't happen accidentally. The clock is ticking, and next year is already watching. What will you have to show for it? Time is the only true currency you will ever possess. Everything else, money, possessions, status, even health to an extent, can be earned back, rebuilt, or replaced. But time, once it's gone for good. Every second that passes is a silent withdrawal from the one account you can never refill. Yet most people trade their time like it's infinite, like it will always be there tomorrow. They waste it on things that bring no return: mindless scrolling, pointless arguments, lazy comfort, and empty distractions. They spend hours doing what is urgent instead of what is important. They give their best hours to obligations they resent and leave their dreams starving for attention. People guard their wallets but not their calendars. They'll hesitate to spend $50 but think nothing of losing 5 hours a day to habits that rob their future. That's not just a loss of time, it's a sacrifice of opportunity. Time misused is opportunity destroyed. When you lose time, you're not just behind, you're outpaced. Every hour you waste, someone else is investing. While you procrastinate, someone else is building. While you delay, someone else is accelerating. And eventually you look up, and the distance between you and where you could have been is too great to ignore. The wealthy, the successful, the fulfilled, they all treat time as sacred. They structure their days like a general plans a battle, not because they are obsessed with schedules, but because they understand the price of chaos. They know every minute holds potential, either to push them forward or pull them under. And so they treat their time with the seriousness it deserves. They say no to noise. They say no to people who drain. They say no to anything that doesn't align with where they're going. Not because they're arrogant, but because they're aware. They know what's at stake. You want a better life. Respect your time. Guard it like your life depends on it, because it does. The life you want isn't waiting for you. It's hidden in the hours you waste. Every day is a brick. What are you building? Every morning is a chance. What are you chasing? You don't need more time, you need more intention. Time is the only real wealth you have. Spend it wisely, or you will find yourself rich in regret and bankrupt in fulfillment. Definiteness of purpose is the cornerstone of any successful life. Without it, you are simply drifting, aimlessly moving from one day to the next, uncertain of where you're headed or why you're even going in that direction. You can have the skills, the ambition, and the resources, but if you lack a clear and unwavering purpose, all those elements will be scattered and ineffective. Purpose is the compass that guides your actions, the force that drives you through obstacles, the light that helps you see the path even when the road ahead is unclear. Without a definiteness of purpose, you are simply wandering, hoping something will work out, but never quite sure what it is you're working toward. People without purpose live in a constant state of confusion, reacting to whatever life throws their way rather than taking charge of their destiny. They are quick to jump from one opportunity to the next, chasing every shiny object that catches their eye, only to realize too late that none of it has brought them closer to what they truly desire. On the other hand, those with a clear purpose are single-minded in their pursuit. They know what they want, and they are willing to sacrifice, learn, and fight for it. Every action they take is a step closer to that goal. They have clarity. They know their destination, and nothing can divert them from the course they've set. When you have a definiteness of purpose, every decision becomes easier. You no longer waste time on things that don't align with your vision. You know what's important, and you eliminate the distractions that pull you away from your true calling. It's not about being busy. It's about being productive, focused, and intentional with your time and energy. You stop going in circles and start going forward, knowing that every effort you make brings you closer to your goal. Having a definite purpose also means making the commitment to yourself that you won't settle for less than what you deserve. It's easy to get discouraged, especially when things don't seem to be going your way. But a strong purpose will anchor you in times of doubt. It will remind you why you started and why you must keep going. When you truly know what you want, you will refuse to accept anything less. You will break through every challenge, every roadblock, and every setback. And in doing so, you will develop a resilience that cannot be matched. Purpose also gives you the ability to focus your energies on the most important tasks. Instead of spreading yourself thin and chasing every opportunity that comes your way, you will be able to prioritize the actions that will move you forward most effectively. Every effort will be in service of your purpose, and because of this, you will start to notice greater results with less wasted energy. You will feel more fulfilled, because every day will be spent doing something meaningful. You'll no longer feel like life is happening to you. You'll be actively shaping your destiny, knowing that every decision is a conscious step toward the realization of your deepest aspirations. A life without a definiteness of purpose is a life wasted. You cannot afford to live without knowing what you want. It's not enough to simply dream. You must define your dream with clarity and commit to it with conviction. When you have a definiteness of purpose, you transform from someone who is simply surviving to someone who is living with intention and creating their future. You stop letting life pass you by and start creating the life you've always envisioned. Intention alone is not enough to change your life. It's easy to say you want something, to feel inspired in the moment and talk about your goals, but those words and feelings mean nothing unless you take deliberate action. Dreams without execution are merely wishes. You can have the most noble intentions, the most brilliant ideas, but if you don't act on them, they will remain exactly that, ideas. The world rewards action, not intention. Intentions are empty until they are backed by effort, strategy, and consistent action. Without it, your dreams will forever be out of reach. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is often not talent or intelligence, but the willingness to act. Every great achievement, no matter how monumental, was first conceived in the mind. But without the discipline to follow through, the idea would have remained a thought. Success is built on countless small, consistent actions taken over time. It's not about being perfect or waiting for the right moment. It's about taking that first step, no matter how small, and then following it up with another and another until the goal is achieved. The key is not to wait for motivation to strike, but to create momentum through action. Think about the goals you've set in the past. How many times have you said, "I want to lose weight," or "I want to start my own business," or "I want to learn a new skill"? If you didn't act on those desires, they were just intentions. Those who succeed are not the ones who have the best ideas or the most inspirational plans. They are the ones who roll up their sleeves and get to work. They fail, they stumble, they experience setbacks, but they keep moving. They understand that in the end, it's not about how you feel about something, it's about what you do to make it happen. Too often, people become paralyzed by overthinking. They want everything to be perfect before they take that first step. They want to have all the answers, all the details, all the resources before they move forward. But that's a trap. Perfection is an illusion. There is no perfect moment to begin. There will always be challenges, always be uncertainties, always be obstacles. The trick is to start in spite of them. Action doesn't require perfection. It requires commitment. It's the act of moving forward, no matter how imperfect the path may seem, that eventually leads to progress. What holds most people back is fear, the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of making mistakes. But here's the truth: failure is part of success. Without action, failure doesn't happen. Without action, no learning occurs. Failure becomes the lesson you need, the experience that refines you, the fuel that propels you forward. But only if you take that first step. Action is what converts a dream into reality. It's where the rubber meets the road, where your vision is transformed into something tangible. You don't build a house by talking about it. You lay the foundation brick by brick. The act of doing something, anything, gets you closer to your goal. It's not the result that matters most in the beginning. It's the act of showing up day in and day out. Every action, no matter how small, compounds. Every step you take strengthens your commitment, sharpens your skills, and moves you closer to the person you want to become. It's easy to talk about what you want, to write it down, to make plans, to visualize your success. But those things only matter if they lead to action. Without action, all the intentions in the world are just noise. Intention alone cannot move mountains. Action does. If you are serious about achieving your goals, if you are truly committed to creating the life you desire, you must stop waiting for the perfect time, the perfect idea, the perfect conditions. They don't exist. The time is now. The action is required. Because intention without action is just a dream that will never come true. And dreams, no matter how vivid or passionate, will always remain dreams unless you take the bold step to turn them into reality. Don't wait. Act. Excuses are the silent killers of potential. They are the words we tell ourselves when we want to avoid the discomfort of taking action. They sound so convincing, don't they? I don't have enough time. I'm not ready. I'll do it tomorrow. They disguise themselves as valid reasons, but in truth, they are nothing more than an escape from the responsibility of growth. Every time you make an excuse, you delay your progress, and the more you indulge in them, the harder it becomes to break free from the cycle of inaction. Excuses are a crutch for the weak, a way to mask fear, laziness, and a lack of discipline. And as long as you continue to make them, you will never realize your true potential. Excuses are easy. It's simple to say, "I don't have enough money," when you're faced with an opportunity to invest in yourself. It's effortless to blame your circumstances when the going gets tough. But the people who achieve great things are not the ones who have an endless list of reasons why they can't. They are the ones who acknowledge the challenges and choose to move forward despite them. They take full responsibility for their actions, their choices, and their lives. Excuses are the language of those who are comfortable with mediocrity. If you want to excel, you have to silence the excuses and replace them with action. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't lies in how they use those hours. It's easy to claim you don't have time. It's easier still to waste time scrolling through your phone or binge, watching a series. But the truth is, you make time for what matters. If you truly want something, you will find the time to work toward it. You will sacrifice the things that are unimportant, and you will prioritize the things that will move you closer to your goals. Time is the most precious commodity we have, and you don't get to waste it without consequence. The more time you waste, the farther you drift from your aspirations. Another common excuse is the belief that you're not ready. You think you need more skills, more experience, more knowledge, or the perfect conditions before you can take the leap. But you will never be ready in the traditional sense. There is always something more you could learn, always a new obstacle that appears, always a reason to delay. If you wait for the perfect moment to start, you will wait forever. The truth is, you get ready by doing. You get better by starting. You learn by failing, by making mistakes, by picking yourself back up and moving forward. Waiting for everything to align perfectly is a waste of time. The only way to grow is to take action, to move forward in spite of not feeling fully prepared. Excuses are often rooted in fear. The fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of making a mistake. But fear is just a feeling, and feelings are temporary. It's what you do in the face of fear that matters. Those who succeed are not the ones who never feel fear. They are the ones who acknowledge the fear and take action anyway. They don't let it paralyze them. They use it as fuel to drive them forward. Fear is natural, but it doesn't have to control you. You must learn to push through it. The only true failure is in giving up, in accepting excuses as your reality. The most successful people are not the ones who avoid hardship. They are the ones who face it head on, who rise above the challenges, and who refuse to make excuses. When things get tough, they don't retreat into a cocoon of reasons why it can't be done. They find a way, they innovate, they adapt, and above all, they take action. The most powerful weapon you have in your arsenal is your ability to act in the face of adversity, to push forward despite the obstacles. If you're making excuses, you're standing in the way of your own progress. You're telling yourself and the world that you're not willing to do what it takes. The truth is, there will always be reasons not to take action. The conditions will never be perfect. The challenges will always exist. But it is in the overcoming of these obstacles that you find your strength. Every excuse you make is an opportunity lost, a moment you'll never get back. The time for excuses is over. You must choose to be stronger than your excuses. You must commit to action, to discipline, to persistence. If you want a different life, you must stop making excuses and start making progress. The only thing standing between you and your goals is the story you tell yourself about why you can't achieve them. Break that story, kill those excuses, and unleash your true potential. The world doesn't owe you success, but it will reward those who refuse to make excuses and take relentless action. The people you surround yourself with are the greatest influence on your life. They shape your mindset, your behavior, and your habits, whether you realize it or not. You become like the 5 people you spend the most time with. If those people are driven, focused, and ambitious, their energy will rub off on you. But if they are complacent, negative, or indifferent, their attitude will slowly seep into your own way of thinking. Your environment is the unseen force that pushes you either forward or backward. It's not just about who you know, it's about who you allow into your inner circle and what energy they bring with them. Too often, people settle for relationships that drain them, relationships that do nothing to help them grow. You've heard it before. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. But the truth is, you have to be careful who you allow to travel with you. It's not enough to just have people around you. It's about having the right people around you. You need to surround yourself with individuals who inspire you, challenge you, and push you to be better. People who hold you accountable for your goals, who don't let you make excuses, and who show you what's possible when you refuse to settle for mediocrity. The drive of others can ignite a spark in you. When you're surrounded by people who are constantly striving for greatness, it becomes contagious. You see them pushing through obstacles, overcoming setbacks, and relentlessly working toward their dreams. You can't help but feel compelled to do the same. Their success becomes a reminder that you too are capable of greatness. It lifts your standards, expands your vision, and elevates your own level of ambition. You begin to realize that anything is possible, that there are no limits to what you can achieve if you just stay focused and committed. But this can only happen if you're surrounded by those who have the same drive and determination. If you choose to be around people who are constantly making excuses, who are content with mediocrity, and who are satisfied with simply getting by, you'll find yourself trapped in the same mindset. You'll begin to accept average as good enough. You'll tell yourself that you're doing enough, that you've earned a break, that it's okay to take it easy. But nothing extraordinary ever comes from complacency. You have to surround yourself with those who refuse to settle, who believe that their potential is limitless, and who live each day with purpose and passion. When you're in that environment, you can't help but rise to the occasion. The energy of a driven person is magnetic. When you find yourself in a room full of ambition, creativity, and passion, it's impossible to remain stagnant. You're motivated to take action, to push your boundaries, and to constantly seek improvement. You begin to see things differently. You no longer make excuses for why something is difficult or why you can't achieve your goals. Instead, you ask yourself, how can I make this happen? You stop looking for reasons to avoid hard work and start searching for opportunities to grow. You learn that success is a byproduct of relentless effort. And when you're around people who exemplify that, you can't help but absorb that mentality. But it's not just about having motivated people around you. It's also about eliminating the negativity. If you want to grow, you cannot afford to keep people in your life who drag you down, who constantly complain, or who hold you back. It's not about being cruel or cutting ties unnecessarily, but rather about protecting your energy. If someone's presence in your life does not serve your goals or align with your values, it's time to reassess that relationship. Negative energy can be incredibly draining. It's like trying to walk up a hill with someone holding you back. You will tire, you will stumble, and you may even give up altogether. But when you surround yourself with people who have vision, who are committed to personal growth, and who bring positivity into your life, you'll find yourself gaining momentum. You don't just need people who inspire you. You need people who challenge you to be better. Growth only happens when you're pushed outside of your comfort zone. When you surround yourself with driven, ambitious people, they will demand more from you. They won't let you off the hook with your excuses or allow you to rest on your laurels. They will hold you accountable. They will question your decisions and challenge your thinking. And in doing so, they will help you unlock your potential, because greatness doesn't come from doing what's easy. It comes from doing what's difficult, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar. The right environment can change everything. When you surround yourself with people who have the same hunger for success, the same dedication to their dreams, and the same drive to make an impact, you set yourself up for success. You tap into a powerful network of inspiration, motivation, and accountability. You begin to see that your dreams are within reach, that the obstacles you face are just opportunities to grow, and that nothing is impossible when you have the right support system in place. Choose your circle wisely. Surround yourself with people who push you, who challenge you, and who elevate you to the next level. Your future depends on the company you keep. You are already behind. It's a harsh truth, but one you must accept if you want to move forward. Time doesn't wait for anyone. It doesn't pause when you hesitate, and it doesn't give second chances to those who refuse to act. Every second that passes is a second you'll never get back. Every day you waste is an opportunity lost, a potential unrealized. While you are sitting idly, doubting yourself or making excuses, others are out there moving. They are seizing their time, making progress, and building the life they envision. They're ahead because they're acting, even when they don't feel ready, even when they face fear, uncertainty, and doubt. The moment you stop taking deliberate action, you fall behind. It doesn't matter if you've been planning for years. It doesn't matter if you have all the resources in the world. If you don't act, if you don't start, you are falling behind. Progress doesn't care about your plans, your ideas, or your intentions. It cares about your commitment to taking consistent action. The people who are moving forward are the ones who don't waste time. They understand the urgency of time. They recognize that every day counts. They wake up every morning with the intention to make progress, no matter how small, because they know that even the smallest step forward compounds over time. You are already behind, but it's not too late. You have time to catch up, but you must act immediately. The longer you wait, the further you fall. Success is built on momentum, and momentum is built on action. You must begin now. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, for the right time. The time is always now. Perfection will never come. Conditions will never be ideal. Waiting for the stars to align is an excuse for inaction. You will never be fully ready, and that's okay. The truth is, the most successful people don't wait for everything to be perfect. They start with what they have, take imperfect action, and learn along the way. There are people who are already where you want to be, and they didn't get there by waiting. They didn't get there by endlessly planning and overthinking. They got there by doing, by failing, by stumbling, and by getting up again more determined than ever. They kept moving even when it was hard. They made mistakes and learned from them, and each mistake was a lesson that pushed them closer to their goal. Progress doesn't require perfection. It requires persistence. You can't wait for the right moment to act because the right moment never comes. You have to create it by starting. While you waste time, others are becoming experts in their field. They're writing the book you're thinking about, launching the business you've been planning, and creating the life you're dreaming about. They don't have more talent than you. They don't have more time, and they're not inherently better than you. The difference is they act. They stop worrying about what might go wrong and focus on what they can do right now. You are already behind, but the gap isn't impossible to close. It may seem overwhelming, but progress is never made in giant leaps. It's made in small, consistent actions taken every single day. You don't need to make huge strides. You need to take that first step, then the next, and the next. Every day that you act, even in small ways, is a day that brings you closer to your goal. The key is not to compare yourself to others, but to compete with the person you were yesterday. It's not about how far others have gone. It's about how far you're willing to go. You don't need to catch up to anyone but yourself. Focus on the person you can become, not the person you were yesterday. It's easy to feel discouraged when you look around and see everyone else moving ahead. But remember, the race is not against them. It's against your own procrastination, your own hesitation, and your own fear of failure. The only thing holding you back is the belief that you're too far behind. The only way to catch up is to stop waiting and start acting. You are already behind, but you are not out of the game. There is still time, but that time is now. The longer you wait, the more ground you lose. The longer you hesitate, the further away your dreams move. But if you start now, if you take that first step today, you will close the gap. You can still catch up, but only if you decide to stop waiting and start doing. Don't let the feeling of being behind paralyze you. Let it motivate you to act with urgency. The future belongs to those who act now. In conclusion, time is the most valuable resource you have, and it's slipping away with each passing second. Every day you wait, make excuses, or avoid taking action, you fall further behind in the race to fulfill your potential. The power to change your life lies within your ability to take responsibility, to commit to your purpose, and to relentlessly pursue your goals. Surround yourself with those who elevate you, cut out the distractions, and focus on progress over perfection. Understand that intention alone will not move mountains. Action does. Excuses are your enemy, and it's time to silence them for good. You are already behind, but it's not too late to catch up. Start now. Act with urgency. Build momentum. Because the truth is, your success is not determined by when you start, but by how determined you are to keep going. The time for hesitation is over. Your future begins today, and it's waiting for you to take the first step.